were on air when this happened, but by chance, did you see the Nick Saban clip from College Game Day?
Yeah.
About him talking about Florida? And I sit next to a former Florida offensive coordinator and head coach every week for the last 2 years. And he wouldn't say this publicly because, fans will write it off as an excuse. But when Nick Saban says it, people listen. Florida under Urban Meyer, he's 100% right. And you know this better than anyone. They weren't investing in the program. They weren't investing in facilities. They weren't investing in everything that makes the program. They were investing in Florida history behind Steve Spurrier, and it finally caught up with them. And now they're paying for it. Now they've got everything. They've got facilities. The money's been raised when Mullen was there. But Paul, this was something that's been in the making for quite some time because Florida was relying on yesteryear instead of how to catch up.
By the way, you became a topic on our show this last week, Matt. A couple of Florida callers were not very happy with your comments about they shouldn't have fired Dan Mullen. But I'll leave it to you to debate with the Finebaum caller some other time. But your point was a good one, though. And it takes Nick Saban to confirm everything that's already been said. Isn't that the new world that we live in?
Yeah, but thanks, Coach, for backing us up. But you know why I think Florida fans are getting angry about it? Because I think there's a small piece of them that knows that maybe we're right about the Mullen thing. Look, obviously I've been around the guy for 2 years and we work closely together. And so I'm hearing his side of the story. But ultimately, at the end of the day, do you think there's a little bit of them that understand, like, wait a second? Because, okay, let's put this in current day context, Paul. This would be like Florida or Florida State in the next couple of weeks firing Mike Norvell.
Yeah.
After a 10-win season, a 13-win season, just being like, you know what? It's not going well this year. He's not recruiting well, which was the knock on Mullen. It was all portal. Like, let's just fire Norvell. It'd be the same thing.
Well, no, you're right. And if you fire Mullen, and it came out over the weekend that Dan, I mean, you know this, of course, but Dan Mullen had recommended to Scott Strickland to hire Lane Kiffin. And it was interesting that I happened to be in Baton Rouge when I read that and talking to people close to those who made the decision to bring in Brian Kelly. And remember, a lot of people were advocating hire Billy Napier's right down the road at Lafayette. And people close to the administration in Baton Rouge told me over the weekend, they were not coming anywhere near Billy Napier. And why? Because they did not have faith in his ability to make the right decision staffing wise. They felt like he was too much of a neophyte, having only been in the Sun Belt. His record at Alabama, he got a lot of cred for being on Nick Saban's staff, but it's worth remembering Nick Saban bypassed him twice to be the offensive coordinator, which led to him leaving there. I think he went west.
Arizona State, yeah.
Right. So they felt pretty comfortable. They were making the right decision, even though there was a couple of columnists down there saying, you got to hire Billy Napier. He's one of us. And Napier wasn't equipped to handle that job. And that's why I think he's been mostly a failure. And back to your argument, had Mullen stuck around another year or two, I don't know anything more than you know, but it would not have been, it couldn't have been any worse, I promise you.
Yeah, it's been the topic of conversation, really, because Mullen's sitting there on Saturdays. He's very prominent on TV, and Florida people come out lashing, saying, you don't know what happened inside the program. He quit on the team out. I mean, they should have kept Dan Mullins out of story anymore because of what's going on. But with Billy Napier, as this thing goes on, we'll see how he finishes it up.